I'd like to welcome you to the Delanco Township Committee meeting of June 15th, 2026. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bartlett.
Here.
Mr. McFadden.
Here.
Mr. Olet.
Here.
Ms. Seuss.
Here.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Here. Also present, Ms. Simonera, our Township Administrator, Mr. Heinhold, our Township Solicitor, Mr. Fox, our Township Engineer, Mrs. Russell, our Municipal Clerk, Mrs. Hart, our Deputy Municipal Clerk, Mr. Fenimore, Superintendent of Public Works, and Mr. Warren, our Police Chief. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bev, would you please read the sunshine statement?
Yes. Please be advised the proper notice of this meeting has been given in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act in the following manner. Written notice has been mailed to the Burlington County Times and Courier Post and published in the December 28, 2025 editions. Written notice has been posted on the official bulletin board of the Township of Delanco at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Live stream statement. This meeting of the Delanco Township Committee may be transmitted via live stream on YouTube video. The streaming of the meeting is not intended to be relied upon as formal public access under Open Public Meetings Act, and if the technology is disrupted for any reason, the township meeting will proceed in person as an official meeting in accord with the official notice. Please silence your cell phones and refer to the rules governing public comment attached to this agenda.
Thank you, Bev. The first item on our agenda tonight is ordinance 2026-8, amending Chapter 240 governing sidewalk and curb repair. This is the second reading by title only and public hearing. So the hearing is now open to the public regarding ordinance 2026-08. It's open to the public.
Harold Klingler, 509 Buttonwood Street. I did have a question about this before, and I kind of forgot about it. But now I was wondering, this is for sidewalk and curb repair, right? I was just wondering, how do you determine whose sidewalk and whose curb gets repaired?
I don't understand your question. You mean when we're redoing a street or something?
Yeah, when you're redoing it, how do you determine whose sidewalk and whose curb gets fixed?
It depends on, I guess Harry, I'd let Harry address that. It depends on monies and what needs repaired, to be repaired.
If it's a township road job, capital project, if we have to change the curb and/or sidewalk due to drainage issues, generally, that's the main reason. Otherwise, we try and stay away from doing sidewalks unless the street tree caused the damage, the township street tree, then we generally will replace that. But we only replace it if needed or the design to work properly.
So this is like small stuff. It's not really like a whole street. Because I noticed that like the street, I don't know the name of the street. It's the next one after Ash Street.
Glenwood?
Over by the church.
Union.
Oh, Union.
That whole, a couple of years back, that whole street, all the sidewalks and all the curbs were brand new.
I
was kind
know.
of wondering, well, geez, do you like go for a lottery or something? Do you have a lottery and who wins and who gets the sidewalk?
No, it's not like that. I think a lot of it has to do with if you're receiving a grant, what the grant actually covers,
Yeah.
because at one time, there were grants that did cover replacing sidewalks and curbs if needed. And I can remember doing a whole street with the sidewalk and the curb, but it's very rare now.
Yeah, and it's,
Yeah, it's
It's-
very rare that we.
again, it's not something that's typical, so each property owner that's fronting the sidewalk has responsibility under the state law and under our ordinance.
Right.
And this ordinance is just about broadening the ways that those replacements can occur.
Right, to include pavers.
Yeah.
And I know that if they're redoing a street and if you have an issue with your curb or your sidewalk, you can make arrangements with the contractor. I think it's to have that done at the same time, Harry, can't they? But it would be additional expense, it would be an expense to you, not to.
Oh,
not-
I understand that, because
Okay.
I did my whole one side
I know, I can see that, it
on
looks
Vine
nice.
Street. And at one time, I did the whole side. And that's when it was reasonable
Right,
at that time. But it's not reasonable no more. And boy, I'd love to have the front done to match it, but I was just wondering, maybe you put your name in a hat or something like that. Or,
no,
no. Okay, all right, thank you.
you're welcome. Anyone else regarding this ordinance? I'll close this portion to the public and ask for a motion from the Township Committee for ordinance 2026-8.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Yes.
Ms. Seuss.
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. At this time, we're going to have a presentation on 401 Creek Road regarding a redevelopment proposal for Lennar Corporation. Welcome.
Duncan, do you want me to say just a few words first?
I was going to say hi
Yeah.
and ask you to do an introduction,
Yeah.
so I know it absolutely.
So just real quick, I think if you live in Delanco, you probably, everybody knows about 401 Creek and its significant history in terms of what we've been through over the last year or so. We are at a point now where with ownership, as discussed when we went through the process, the intent was always to return it back to the market with a use that would not create the same concerns and issues that we were concerned about relative to the prior industrial use. We put that into a request for proposal process. We received 2 proposals. Of those 2 proposals, Lennar, who is represented by Duncan Prime tonight and has other representatives here, was by far the best proposal we received. We had significant discussion with them over the last couple of months about what they propose, what we need to get out of the project, what they need to get out of the project to make it work. Redevelopment is a partnership. We have flexibility under the redevelopment authority process under the state statute to design our zoning to fit the needs of the community and fit the needs to make the redevelopment work. So we are at the point now where we're proposing to enter into what's called a letter of intent. That is basically, we're agreeing that we're going to focus on working with each other to try and enter into a formal redevelopment agreement. The letter of intent has some key elements to it that, again, both parties have identified as important to the transaction. And we've asked Lennar to come here and just do a very brief, big picture overview of what the project is so that the public has a sense of what's being proposed for the site.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Heinold. Madam Mayor, members of the committee, my name, as Doug indicated, is Duncan Prime. I'm from the firm of Prime, Tuvell, and Maselli. I represent U.S. Home LLC, which is another fancy name for Lennar, doing business as Lennar, in connection with the 401 Creek Road redevelopment. Mr. Heinold did an excellent overview of the process and why we're here. Before I turn it over to my Lennar team, I want to first thank the committee for the opportunity to be here tonight. We're excited. I want to thank Mr. Heinold, the township staff, for their time and energy this spring. As Doug indicated, we met several times, both in person, over the phone, on Zoom, every forum available we used to try and work out what you see in front of you tonight, which is a brief letter of intent, but hopefully that is the start of a much longer process, which leads to a redevelopment agreement and hopefully a contract of sale. 2 quick points before I turn it over. First, I think it's important, my client, and I applaud them for it, they chose a local team here, a South Jersey-based team. I think everyone's familiar with Bob Stout. Bob's worked in the county for, I don't want to put the time frame on it, Bob, but several years. Let's leave it there. I've worked here my entire career. They chose an architecture firm from Medford. Obviously, extensive experience in the county, and I think that'll serve this project and the relationship with the town well. Secondly, The redevelopment plan and the RFP itself, it was done by the town. And we came in and we tried to meet the spirit of that. And I think what you're going to see tonight, we're not asking to rezone or have a re-engineer or redo an idea on this property. I think it's something that the town was looking for, and we came in and tried to fill that need. So with that, I'd like to introduce Wayne Birchler. Wayne's the entitlements manager from Lennar. He's going to go into a more high-level presentation of who Lennar is, a little bit of background on the company, and what we're proposing to do here tonight. So, Wayne, let's get you introduced. Obviously not a formal proceeding. We don't need to swear you or anything. Let's sit it up here.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Wayne, can you have it turned so maybe,
Turn to the audience.
so we
yeah,
can.
maybe
the
it would
public
be,
can see.
maybe it would be better in the corner where it was so that the public can see it as well, Bob. Yeah, and then we can see it too.
And I think the committee can see this in their dreams.
Yeah, we have.
We already know.
Yeah, oh, okay, okay. Well, we have a hand mic, don't we have a hand mic? We have a hand mic that you can use.
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah,
One of the benefits of being me, I can be loud no matter where I am. So thanks, Doug, and thanks, Duncan, for the introduction. All right, thanks. See y'all. No, they took care of a lot of the heavy lifting. My name is Wayne Birchler. I've been with Lennar for 13 years. I work in our due diligence and entitlements departments. I'm a Drexel University graduate, 2001, and a licensed professional civil engineer in water resources since 2005. As Duncan stated, we're really excited to be here. We're really excited to create a marriage and a partnership with Delanco, and we're really looking forward to the possibility and hope of bringing a great active adult community to the township. Lennar is founded in 1954, a family-owned business in the state of Florida. We are currently headquartered in Miami. We have our local division, where I'm stated at, is at 24, or housed at, is 2465 Coosa Road in Hamilton, New Jersey, Mercer County. We've been on the New York Stock Exchange since 1972, Fortune 500 company, and as I stated earlier, I've been with Lennar for 13 years. This was the first year that we were voted as one of the best places to work in the country, and I'm very happy for that, probably more than any of our accomplishments. We build homes in 29 states, 79 markets. We're the second largest home builder in the USA. We built over 26,000 homes across the country in 2025, and we plan to stay there and hopefully exceed that in 2026 and beyond. Locally, we are the #1 home builder in this market. Our market, I call our market New Jersey and New York. Our responsibility or our current projects range from Tuxedo, New York, all the way to Hamilton, New Jersey and Atlantic County. I generally stay Mercer, Middlesex, Monmouth, and South Jersey, and we have a whole other group of people that work everything north of that and into New York City and beyond. I live in Atlantic County, so I don't want to drive 6 hours round trip every day to anything we got going on up in New York. I won't get anything done, even with the proclivity of Zoom and all the other stuff we have available to us. As I said, we're the #1 home builder in this market. We built over 900 homes in 2025. We're going to be very close, and we have a goal of trying to eclipse 1,000 for 2026. We're right on that number, like 989 is the number, so if we have 11 excited buyers in here tonight, maybe we could figure out a way to get to 1,000. If not, we'll get there next year. We're experienced in the RFP and redevelopment process. Currently, we're building our third project through redevelopment and RFP on the Fort Monmouth, the old Fort Monmouth base in Monmouth County, in conjunction with the Fort Monmouth Economic Redevelopment Authority. This current project, or the third project that's under horizontal or land development activities, is located at Hope and Pine Brook Road. There's 275 homes within that community. It was a huge undertaking. There was 50 old remaining Army barracks from that base that we've demolished. Maybe 50% of them, 60% of them at this point. We work cooperatively with New Jersey American Water to, I don't want to say help them, but subdivided a piece of the property off for the benefit of them to build a water tank. that was needed in the municipality. So we're very familiar with working with cooperative agencies, municipal government, et cetera, and making something like this become a reality. So from here on out, that's a lot of the Lennar stuff. A lot of this stuff will be a lot of the stuff that's in the RFP that we submitted, but for the general public, we're block 2100, lot 11. It's a little under 12 acres, known as 401 Creek Road. To orient us, it's Pennington Park and the Field of Dreams baseball field to our one side. It's Pennington Court and generally residential to our other, and the Rancocas Creek behind us, and obviously Creek Road along our frontage with the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission immediately across the street. So those are our site characteristics. And what you could see here is existing. I would define it as light and medium grade industrial use on the property now unoccupied, and all that stuff will be, and then some trees, some wetlands. All of that will be part and parcel to the site plan that we're going to flip to next. So this is our conceptual plan. I call it a concept because for those of you that have worked in the business in your life, in your career, you'll know that everything is conceptual until you start dealing with DEP and you establish your wetlands lines, your letter of interpretation, all your wetlands permitting, and in additional bulk zoning and zoning requirements. So those are all the key components into turning something like this into final, and that's, I don't want to say a long way down the road, but it takes a process, right? And tonight we're here for really what I would define as the second step of the process with a whole lot more steps to go. But we have proposed 64 active adult townhomes here. So market rate active adult townhomes, no school-age children within the community. We serve by public water and sewer. I keep tripping over this thing. Limited roadway network. We're conscious. It sounds silly. We're in the notion of developing properties, right? But we do try to be environmentally conscious as we can when we can. My experience after graduating college, I worked for Pennoni Associates for a short clip. Then I went to work for the state of New Jersey and the federal government. I did a lot of land conservation for agricultural uses, believe it or not. And now I'm on to housing development. So I try where I can and where my company will allow me to be as successful as we can in limiting things like stormwater management impacts and things like that. And one of the ways you do that is reduce your impervious coverage, reduce your roadways, increase your landscaping wherever you can. Obviously, there's a goal to achieve. It has to be financially viable for something to become successful. But we try to look at everything as we're developing our plan. So here, and emergency services and emergency access. You don't want sometimes you have one way in a community. It's always more beneficial if you could plan to have multiple ways in and out of the community. It's easier for access. It's easier for movement. It's easier for circulation. So here we have two accesses out the Creek Road and one kind of mid-block road bisecting the community. So we have a limited roadway network as possible. We think we've established appropriate buffers in buffering from residential to residential uses, residential to park uses, and then a little bit heavier, but we have a lot of wetlands to the rear of the site, so there's not a lot of development if anybody's looking at the plan here as you head towards the Rancocas Creek, which kind of makes sense, right? But along Creek Road, we have an expanded buffer. We're going to put sidewalk along the frontage, hopefully some landscape buffering with the extra topsoil that we anticipate having when we get into site development. And that will act as a buffer to, kind of transition the residential community to Creek Road and all the heavier uses, so to speak. Again, just want to reiterate, no school-age children. That'll all be vetted out through the HOA documents, so no impacts to the local school district. These are our proposed home types. Currently, we call this the Maverick model. Market rate, active adult, 2-story townhomes. I have 3 written down, so I had to double check that. It didn't make sense to me. 24 to 28 foot wide, 52 to 60 foot deep, 1,950 to 2,278 square feet. It's a master down component, which is preferred from an active adult lifestyle, with a second bedroom on the upstairs and an option for a third bedroom on upstairs as well. That could be treated as, visitor space, office space, puzzle room, dance hall, whatever anybody wants it to be. 2.5 baths, 2-car garage, no basements planned for this community. Optional decks off the main living space. An exterior finish include vinyl siding, vertical board and batten, PVC panels, manufactured stone, veneer. We anticipate being priced in the mid $400,000 range. That's obviously dependent upon market conditions. That'll go up and down as we go. And realistically, we're probably 24 to 30 months away until we're marketing a home, and that's if everything goes really good when we leave here tonight. Again, circling back to trying to be environmentally conscious, some of the things that we will have in our homes that think about that: tankless hot water heaters, thermal enclosed high efficiency HVAC systems. Sorry, I'm giving you all this. Normally Lisa will give you all this when she comes later. Energy efficient appliances, energy efficient LED lighting, and the townhome garages will all be outfitted with a level 1 dedicated outlet for electric vehicle charging, with an option to upgrade for a quick charge level 2 service. That is generally a component of the project itself from a site plan perspective and from a home perspective. I'll put the plan perspective up again, and then I'm going to wrap with just some timing, what we believe is realistic timing to get us from tonight to a finish line and a finished product, like completely out of the town's hair. We're done. No more homes, no more people moving in, just happy residents paying their taxes and living a great life here. So after we leave tonight, we figure we're 24 to 30 months away from getting all approvals. I circle back to DEP. DEP can be a crotchety process. You go out and stake your line for your wetlands. You have a debate. Maybe you move a flag here, you move a flag there. It takes a little bit of time to get through your DEP process. And then we have all our local approvals, county approvals, water and sewer at DEP, et cetera. So it's a process, right? And I get pressed every day. Why does it take me 24 months? And there's always a wrinkle. Sometimes you have successes. I had a court hearing today that I walked out going, wow, I just moved the job up 12 months. And I felt really good about that. So sometimes that type of stuff happens. And sometimes sometimes you have bad processes too. Once we leave there, the process gets really accelerated. Lennar will chew up this asset, we'll call it 64 homes. We'll chew it up pretty quickly. We don't wait for Duncan and Duncan's not 55. Look, I mean, he's like 25. So we don't wait for Duncan to come into our sales office and say, I want to buy this home here, Wayne. Okay, build me this house. I want this type of cabinet. I want this type of flooring. I want this type of countertop. We go with a model that's called everything included. Basically, if you walk into our sales office, everything you see in front of you is what you're going to get, but it's already being built. And depending upon what stage the home is in, if you particularly want this lot and it's under active construction, if it's far enough along that the cabinetry and stuff are already in, you're kind of stuck with it. If you're early enough in the process where the cabinets haven't gone in and the countertops haven't been cut, you can change colors, but your materials and things and such are already baked in. So we call that paneling our homes. And it's one of the ways that we move through our assets quicker than a lot of our competitors do, for the benefit and the worse. For instance, I mean, we just built 452 homes for some of y'all that may have been familiar on Smithville Road in East Hampton Township. We built 450 homes in less than 4 years. Now, that's obviously in a fantastic real estate market. And we had multiple products there, so we were able to build 2 products at one time. And we try to do that wherever we can, but on a smaller site like this, we're going to offer 1 product. So just to close the loop on that, probably 0 to 6 months of site development, horizontal development, knocking down the buildings, cutting down the trees, stripping the topsoil, land grading, utility installation. And somewhere about 3/4 of the way along that process, we'll start, hopefully, we'll have a building permit from the town, and we'll start our vertical construction. So somewhere in that 4 to 6 month range after we started site development, and then feeding back into us chewing this asset up, we should build all these homes in less than 20 months. And so once we exit approvals, once the township engineers are willing to sign our plans and we're able to record a plat, we figure we're 20 to 24 months to complete all homes done, dedication of any public spaces or public improvements to the municipality, and we're done. We're out of our hair, and hopefully there's something else in Delanco that we're able to be fantastic at. That's all I got for you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions that we can answer? Obviously, we're here for the evening, so any questions the mayor, committee, staff has, we're happy to answer them.
I just had a question about the spec homes, the colors that are going to be chosen. Are they going to be all the same color, uniform colors across? Is there an opportunity for a buyer to pick a color? Just curious as to color scheme.
That's all dictated on stage, so dictated in process. Every town has like a look-alike clause, right? They don't want the same home, the same thing right down a string. We control that on our own. As we panel a home, we'll panel a certain building string with a certain exterior feature, a certain color palette. You know, this is when we get into, if we're fortunate enough to get into the point where we're giving a full-blown presentation, right? You'll see that these will have 3 or 4 different elevations with 3 or 4 different color options. You may have a stone water table that goes up in front. It'll vary, and as we panel those out, we'll make sure that it's a little bit more difficult in townhomes than it is single family, right? Because the box is kind of the same, but and you can introduce as many products as you want when it's single family. But we will make sure when we panel these up that they don't look exactly the same as you go down the street. They'll look similar, I'm not going to lie,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
they're not going
Yeah.
to be exactly the same.
And your Hamilton project, these are similar to that, right? The West End project?
Yes,
So we could technically go down there and check it out and get an idea.
that would be a good starting point. Yeah, absolutely. If you want, I mean, those are not active adult homes, but those would be a good start. Those would be representative of what we're building. We're building a little bit bigger home here, and that's actually a 3-story product, where this is a 2-story product, so it's a little bit different.
Gotcha.
Are they single-family homes? Is that what they are in Hamilton?
Sorry about it.
Single-family homes rather than townhouses?
In Hamilton?
No, they're townhomes as well.
Oh, they're townhomes
Yes.
as well, okay.
Yep.
What about the project you said in East Hampton, you're doing something? Is that,
East Hampton was active adult. It had, I did the approvals back in like 2016 for that. It had roughly it was 452 total. It had a mix of single-family homes, duplex homes, what we call them twins, and then triplex homes. Some people want to press us into calling those townhomes. We called them triplex homes. So that was a mix of those 3 products there.
Where is that located?
A little bit wider
Yeah.
product and things like that.
Where's that, just in case they want to take a ride?
yeah, that's,
What's the name of that development?
Venue at Smithville Green, 1020 Smithville Road in East Hampton Township. That was an interesting one, too. We had to get New Jersey American Water to expand their water franchise to come down into that municipality to build that project. So
good. And these will all be the same model? Is that what they'll be? Because the plan that
Yes.
I have, all Abigail?
Maverick.
once we pick, so
have Abigail,
for
I
now,
have a
because the
product,
conceptual,
Abigail here.
right, because the LOI, because the LOI through DEP hasn't truly defined the wetlands boundaries and things like that, and we haven't gotten to a final resolution on bulk standards with the town. If you were following along, I referenced 24-foot wide and 28-foot wide and 52-foot deep and 60-foot deep and some square footage. There's just some flexibility in that, whether it ends up being the Abigail product or the Maverick product. This would be the biggest product
Okay.
that we would build. This is the largest product, so we selected, to come here tonight, we selected the largest product. Because
Thank
that's the one my sales and marketing team wants to build.
Okay. Thank you.
And I guess I have to get along with them.
Anyone else have any questions?
Not right now.
Not right now. You can, if the gentlemen are going to stay around, maybe it would be best if we open it up now. I mean, I think we would like to go into what we're going to approve first, and then we have a section for the public.
Yeah, and I just want to I just want to emphasize something on that point.
Yeah.
We're going to have a whole public process, so don't think that what was just presented is sort of like the end of the discussion. This is the start of the discussion
Right.
with Lennar. We've obviously been talking about 401 Creek and dealing with the impacts associated with that for over a year now, but in terms of Lennar, this is really their first introduction to the community. The purpose of a letter of intent is to say, we know enough, I use this analogy, I don't love this analogy, but I'm going to use it here anyway. It's a little bit like an engagement, right? We know enough about what they're proposing, they know enough about the site and what we have to offer as a township, that we're agreeing that we're going to work really hard over the next couple of months to try and reach an agreement. When we get to that redevelopment agreement, it's going to have a lot more detail, a lot more constraints on them, a lot more constraints on us in terms of where the parties can move. This right now is just sort of the beginning of point, like big picture. We asked for something that was more on the residential senior side of things, and Lennar responded to that proposal, and the committee satisfied that it's in the realm of what we are looking for that site. We talked a lot about this site over the past year and a half because of the way the county park developed, the Field of Dreams ended up happening, what happened up the road with the senior projects that have, go back now 20 years with the Pulte development at Newton's Landing and the origination there. All that originally was zoned, industrial, and changed over the years, and this became the missing tooth in the middle of that, and this is how we're fixing that. This, we think, is the appropriate solution, but there will be a lot more discussion. Once they go through the redevelopment agreement process, there will be planning board, site plan approval, all those sorts of things that will be before the public for public comment and discussion. So this is, again, just big picture here, so don't feel like you're not going to have a part in the process. We are including the public in the process.
Right. So what we are doing right now is we are doing a resolution authorizing the execution of letter of intent with Lennar Corporation for the redevelopment of 401 Creek Road, Block 2100, Lot 11, and naming U.S. Home LLC, doing business as Lennar, as conditional redeveloper. So I would ask the Township Committee for a motion to approve and authorize the execution of the letter of intent with Lennar.
And that's 2026-87. I would make a motion.
Thank you, Carolyn. Second,
Second.
Phil McFadden. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Yes.
Ms. Seuss.
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is meeting is open to the public for comments and questions, agenda items only. This is session 1. Sure it was.
Harold Klingler, 509 Buttonwood Street. I think the proposed plan is a great plan. I like it. More adults, less kids for the schools. That's fantastic. The only thing that I was wondering was, two things, was, is the company aware of how much the taxpayers paid for the property? And are we going to get our money back? And 2, who is going to be responsible for those roads and whatever else is involved with the roads and properties and stuff? Is it going to be the association, the company, or is it going to end up being the township responsible for the roads and stuff?
So I'm going to jump in and try and answer those just because I've been eating and sleeping this project. They're very aware of what we paid. It was included in the RFP process. Their initial proposal was south of that number. We have negotiated with them up to, it was indicated in the resolution, $3.31 million. The purchase price was $3.5 million. However, there's a couple of other things that are impactful to the community that are important to the township. Number one is we're returning it to the tax rolls. When this project is fully built out, the rateable base that it will provide will far exceed what was approved under criterion and certainly what sits there today. So there will be an improved rateable base that the entire community will benefit from. And that improvement is like 10 times what criterion would have built. So it's a significant contribution to the community. The other element that we are going to try and work through in the redevelopment process is, as you know, this property backs up to the county trail system. Once they get through their full development, we are going to try and work on an element of this where the unused back portion of this property will be a separate lot that can be conveyed to the county. The county has interest in that land as part of their overall system. And we would be able to benefit by getting a couple of additional upland acres that the county owns at the back of the Field of Dreams that was previously restricted due to habitat considerations and is no longer restricted under DEP regulation. So that has value to the community by obtaining additional upland parkland. Those numbers, particularly when you consider the tax rateable base, will put us well ahead of where we would have been. So that has been a significant point of negotiation between the parties to get to that figure. The other question that you had was about roads. Road dedication. So in New Jersey, when a developer builds in accordance with residential site standards, the municipalities are obligated to accept those roads. They're going to be part of our community, just like the other communities that have been built along Creek Road and Newton's Landing all the way up to the light rail station.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Gary Cooper, 3 Edwards Avenue. I just have a comment to make. When this first started, when you bought the land, a couple of you said you were going to try to keep the trees and all this stuff. It looks like that's being wiped out. They're clearing it, and you're putting 65 more townhomes in this town that we don't need.
Anyone else? I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public, and we'll move.
on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Michelle Lopez, 35 Emery Way. I have a question about the community itself. Is there going to be street parking within the community? Not only the two-car garages, but when visitors come, is there on-street parking? Will there be?
Our parking will be RSIS compliant, provide sufficient parking
For the community, what about visitors, when people come to visit? So on-street parking will be,
when it's needed to meet the RSIS requirement. You're getting a little deep into an engineering question, but I can confirm that the roads will be RSIS compliant, as Doug referenced, and supply sufficient parking.
So typically like a guest lot, kind of
Right.
offset.
There's
Yeah,
something
I mean-
reflected on the plan.
Yeah, there's something
Not
at
to
the
get
bottom of the
too
plan there.
crazy into it, but specifically right now, and again, it's conceptual, but in order to meet RSIS compliant for, like you said, for visitors, you would have on-street parking in these areas. That said, in addition to that, the way RSIS does it, this will be a full-service two-car garage, meaning you'll actually be able to fit 2 cars in there. I recognize a lot of people end up using their garages for things, right, that accumulate either one space or multiple spaces. But the homes will also be set back sufficient enough to be able to fit 2 cars in your driveway as well. So in theory, you have 4 spots per home, plus 3, 6, 28, 31, roughly 50 on-street parking spaces specifically.
Good.
Thanks, Wayne.
Anyone else? Henry? No?
Good evening. Mike O'Donnell, 17 Emery Way. Getting back to who's going to be responsible for the streets, is that going to be an HOA thing, or like where you are in Newton's Landing, where the city maintains the streets?
So,
Pardon?
so typically, the ultimate maintenance of the streets becomes the municipal responsibility. They become public roadways. There are situations where an HOA can say, we actually want to do our own snow plowing. We're getting into the weeds here, but I think big picture, if the question is, are they going to be public? Yeah, they're going to be public, right?
All right, and secondly, about the trees. I'm fine with trees being moved, and I'm sure you've thought of this, but you're taking out some trees, there's areas where you could plant some too, correct? So we're not going to suffer from.
No, and that will all be addressed in the
Yeah.
redevelopment
Yeah.
agreement. That's been a
Someone
focus on
brought
ours.
that up, and
Yep. No,
Yeah.
it's, all the nitty-gritty and that kind of thing will be addressed in the redevelopment agreement, and.
thanks. Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, I'll close this portion of the meeting to the public, and we'll move on to comments and reports.
Did we want to thank Lennar?
I think we would thank Lennar, and gentlemen, if you would like to leave, we'll take a couple minutes to let you do that. Thanks for the presentation. We look forward to working with you on this project.
Thank you.
It's good. Yeah. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move forward with comments and reports. First. Oh, okay. We can wait. I mean, I think Harry can start his report. Or Doug. Doug, we'll start with you for your report.
Mayor, I don't have anything to report on.
Okay. That was quick. Okay, Harry.
Okay, I'm glad Doug didn't have anything, because I have quite a few items tonight.
I didn't say I yield my time to you, Harry.
Okay, be up to date on our various projects. The crossings at Delanco, I met with the homeowners association. It was, I think, very helpful to them, as well as we received some insight from the residents. And we basically went over the process of the bonding, the punch list, how we can make the contractor do certain things, other things we can't do. So I think it went very well, and I thank Cindy for doing that. And Deborah may have something in her report with that as well, but she was there to assure the homeowners that we are looking out for the best interest. And the mayor did get there after a little bit. She had a sewer authority meeting, but she attended as well. So that worked out really well. The 2024 road program, that's the Delaware Avenue repaving. The contractor has finished all his concrete punch list work. He still has a little bit of paving work to do. That should be done within the next week and a half, and that project will be completely finished, and we can close it out.
He's going to repaint that crosswalk too.
Yeah, he's also going to do some IR, infrared repair of the asphalt on the crosswalk midway. So he's going to repair that too.
Okay.
So yes, they will repair that.
Cool.
Good.
The 2025 local aid project, that's the Newton's Landing Boulevard paving project. That is scheduled to start on the 22nd of this month. They are going to start on we have to retrofit some of the inlets. They're going to be starting on that. They are also going to be doing an additional inlet for us that was damaged in Newton's Landing. We approved a change order to do that, so that will be taken care of that week. The following week, week of the 29th, they will be coming in and installing Belgian block curb on the first block. If you're familiar with the area, there's that one section that wasn't curbed. That's going to get Belgian block curb, and then they'll pave it shortly after that. Once they're done, then they're going to move over to the school parking lot and mill and pave that. So that's what's scheduled.
And I think Debbie's getting ready to send out communication to Newton's Landing and the school to let them know about the start date, right?
Yes.
Yep, great. The 2025 CDBG grant, that is the handicap grant that we received. We did receive bids, well, a bid. We received one bid for the project that was substantially higher than our estimate. We recommend that we reject the
Rebid.
bid, and we will go back out for new bids. And we're adjusting the plans to add more alternates, so if it does come in, we can do whatever money we have from the county, we can do as many ramps as we can, and we can avoid the alternates if the prices come in better. I would expect they would come in better. You never know, it's all timing with these contractors. The Union Avenue boat ramp. We did finally receive approval from DEP and the Army Corps for the ramp. So I'm going to review with Debbie timing of going at the bid and the next process on that. But we did receive all the approvals for that ramp.
Is there any restrictions on time?
There is not.
Good.
Oh, wow, that's great.
There was very little restrictions on this. The only restriction they had actually was, originally we were going to make it 30 feet wide, and they would only last to go 20 foot.
20, yeah.
Other than that, they were much more reasonable on this than the other issue we kind of had to get past at the last minute. They informed us that it had to be open to the public if we were going to get approval. And knowing the situation with that ramp, we went back and forth with them and explained to them the history of it and what it's used for, and they did give us the approval with that.
Good.
Public.
Good.
The public service, which I'm sure everyone here has been affected by the main installation, gas main installation, the roadways. I spoke with public service today. This week they're going to be giving me their map of roads that need to be repaved. After that, John and I and Debbie will sit down and we may do some swapping of areas. I explained before, public service doesn't care. They're responsible to pave X amount of feet of road. They don't care what road it is. So it's common, we do it in every one of our towns. We may, because they only need to pave half a road in a lot of cases, half the cartway. So we may say, okay, don't pave half this cartway and this, but pave a full cartway someplace else. So we will go through all that and see how we want to do it. And once we get that together, I will make a little map for everyone, so you'll see what is going to be paved from that outcome. But they're figuring on, they would like to start paving mid to end July, mid to the end of July.
Oh, good.
The 2026 local aid, that is an application that's on the resolution. We recommended applying, as you know, we received a grant to do the drainage work on Hickory Street. We are now starting, we're recommending that we apply for grants to do from the creek, the outfall of the creek, up to somewhere approximately past Franklin. What we're going to do is we're applying for more than I think they'll give us, but that's what we always do. And whatever money they give us, then we can determine how far we can go with our pipe. But we think that's a good application. It's a continuation of what they already gave us money for. And there are some safety issues involved with that.
But that does include Hickory Street drainage, right?
Well, the Hickory Street drainage is the project that's going out, that'll be going out to bid, I'm going to say probably in a month or so.
Okay,
That's the block from Union to
Coopertown.
Walnut Street.
Yeah,
So that's already in the works. We're
Okay.
getting money for that. We're working on a design. The survey's done. We're working on a design. And that'll go at the bid early summer for summertime construction.
Do you have a cost estimate yet for that? Is it another 200,000?
We don't have a final estimate. We have our preliminary estimate that the grant should cover.
oh, good,
What we're going to do, like we always like to do on our projects, is we're going to make it an alternate. So if it does come in a little bit higher, we can at least award the base bid and get it done. And if it does come in good prices, then we'll do the alternate. The alternate is going to be the intersection of Walnut and Hickory. There's a lot of inlets and pipes going different directions and whatnot. So if we, at least we'll get the block done, and then if prices come in favorable, then we can do the intersection as well. And that's going to be replacing the entire pipe, the inlets, and repaving the road.
good.
Didn't we just pave that road?
No, we paved Walnut up to that, we stopped short
Okay.
of that
Right.
intersection because we know.
Okay.
We knew we were going to do. What about the roof replacement for Town Hall? Is that in, I know we said as soon as we passed the budget that that was going to be a priority item.
Yes, there's a resolution in here tonight to join a co-op through Bergen County.
I see
And
it.
that co-op will allow us to award to the recommended roofer contractor.
Good,
So we'll award that next meeting.
okay.
Okay, the Centennial Park, we did receive bids, as you know, and that's on the agenda for approval tonight. That, so everyone knows this, the contractor is LMC Developers. That is actually the same company that did Waterfront Park.
Oh, great.
They have a sister company that's actually owned by his wife, and he put it under that company. But the same people that did the Waterfront Park will be doing this park if it's awarded.
He did our tree grant project too.
Yeah, that's
He owes us
good.
8 trees still.
Does he?
I got that in the back of my head.
Yeah, we're glad that he was low bidder. He obviously did
Yeah.
a great job for us out there.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice to know, too.
The 200 Ash Street, we have not received approvals or any comments actually from Army Corps or DEP as of this time. We do have this project, as you may know, it's two projects put into one. We have the grant to do the remediation work. We have to excavate several tons of soil and replace it. That work plan is just about done. We're going to be sending that over for a township review and signature. That will then go into to DEP for that portion of the project. That really has nothing to do with the seawall, the bulkhead that we're proposing. That's sort of a separate entity, but we're putting it in one contract. So, one step at a time, but we're getting there. And DEP is tough sometimes. They have 90 days to review things, and by law. And when it comes up to the 89th day, they call us up and tell us to ask for an extension. And if we don't ask for an extension, they deny it.
Wow.
So that has happened twice so far. We've actually had 2 30-day extensions that they asked for. So we should be hearing something soon on that. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Harry?
The clock for Centennial, you were
Yeah.
working on 2 prices for that?
Yes, we received a quote from a company in Cinnaminson, and I supplied you with the 2 different types of clocks.
And we,
You
yeah,
pick the clock that you wanted.
right.
So we have that price. We're working on trying to get another price to compare it to, so we can award it. And we're in the process of doing that now, as well as the Rest of the amenities, the benches, tables, it's benches and tables, mostly bike rack, that type thing, we're doing through state contract. So we will purchase them through state contract with our own funds and supply them to the contractor to install. It comes out cheaper that way because you have no contractor markup.
Right, and that's what we'll do with the bricks too. Make sure that the contractor has them, for the Centennial Park.
Yeah, the memorial bricks.
The memorial bricks, yeah. We have like 27 left.
Yeah, they've been selling. I
Yeah,
sold a couple
there's-
today too. I got
Yeah.
emails. Are we gonna have the Public Works Department install the benches too as a cost-saving measure?
We can do that. I thought about that, 'cause how the spec was that the Public Works would assemble the benches. 'Cause when they get shipped, they come in pieces.
Yeah.
So the Public Works would assemble them.
Okay.
And the contract stated the contractor is to pick them up from Public Works and install them. But yes, we can definitely, once it's awarded, we can do a change order to take that off of the contract and save money if the Public Works
Yeah,
is done, which is pretty simply, set them,
Sure.
the contractor's pouring the concrete pads, all they have to do is set the benches and put anchor bolts in.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
can save a few thousand, why not, right?
yeah,
Exactly, and there may be some other places in the contract that we can save some money during construction.
right.
So we can do what we can do to save
Okay.
it.
And what's the anticipated start time for that? The fall?
It's,
June, now,
well,
June
no,
and July.
it would start in the summertime for the hardscaping.
Okay.
Yeah,
All of the landscaping would be
be
done
in the
in
fall.
September.
Yeah, and then we'll probably dedicate in October.
Correct.
Great.
So it's the completion
That's our
date is
plan.
October.
Yeah, that's our plan. All right, Harry, anybody else have questions for Harry?
Yeah, I have one. Is your company going to pave also Iowa West Avenue?
Correct. The company will be coming out to pave Iowa and West. And as agreed to, we really got a good deal out of that because West Avenue has to both sides. They're only required to pave one side, because that's the only place they put their line. But when they came in for their application, since the roads were newly paved, Iowa and Kansas and Illinois, I told them we want both sides of West Avenue paved. Otherwise, we will deny your permit. And after some time, they agreed to it. So we're
Okay.
getting all of West Avenue, both sides of the island paved by the Wood Company.
It needs it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's,
You remember that argument when they tried to say both sides, they meant just that side? that-
yeah.
Yes, no.
but they came around.
They weren't happy about it though.
No, and it's tough when you deal with utilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some are great. I have to say, public service has been fantastic.
Yeah,
Water company, not so much, but that's the way it works.
yeah, good. Anybody else for Harry? Okay, Harry, you're off the hook. Township Administrator, Debbie.
Thank you, Mayor. As most of you already know, Babe Ruth Park is progressing along nicely. All the equipment is installed. So the last phase is going to be the pour in place, which is the safety surface that will go underneath the equipment. This agenda includes a long-awaited agreement with the CWA, our Public Works group. So we are signing the memorandum of understanding tonight and able to move forward with that. There's also a resolution in here. We recently had our electrical subcode and inspector resign, and rather than go out, we were able to negotiate a deal with Mount Laurel to use one of theirs, their electrical subcode. So that agreement will allow us a lot more flexibility with hours. They're going to use their Mount Laurel's vehicle. We'll get set hours, so they'll be here 2 hours a day, Tuesdays and Thursdays of every week. Just makes it easier. If they're away, we have backup for Mount Laurel, so it's a great arrangement. And he will actually, or this agreement gets signed, he will be starting tomorrow. So, and it's a good thing with Mount Laurel. It really helped us. And I think that there is a grant agreement in here. It's the one we've been speaking of, 2024 Green Communities. We've gotten that wrapped up, and this is now just us inserting it into the budget so we can move forward and spend it. And that is all I have.
Okay, good. Chief?
Good evening, everyone. For the month of May, for stats, we had a total of 34 police cases, for a total for the year of 99. There were 118 motor vehicle stops with a total for the year of 857. There were 31 summonses issued, and the total for the year is 219. And the officers responded to 794 calls for a total for the year of 3,900. So we're starting the summer off pretty busy.
Yeah.
But good thing. Several of my officers participated a week ago in the torch run. Very well received. They picked up the torch from Riverside at the bridge, and I had the pleasure of chauffeuring Mrs. Russell and Mrs. Seminary so they could see each stop. I got to drive them around. Yeah. But the kids were able to come out and support them and cheer them on as they went past them in front of the school. That was really nice.
Yeah.
It was a hot day, so they were laboring, but they did well. Roughly, they covered like 3.5 miles, so they did well, but it was pretty cool. So
Great.
I was happy. And then I'm just getting everything nailed down for the National Night Out, and pretty much got everything set up, so looking forward to that coming. So it's going to be a nice
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
And they're having fireworks for the National Night Out, so that's something new for Delanco.
Yeah, something
August
new.
4th, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, the Centennial Fireworks Show.
Yeah,
So
that'll be nice.
that'll be nice. So, but that's it for now.
Okay, thank you, Chief. John, Public Works.
Good evening. We picked up 48 cubic yards of brush, that's chipped up brush for pickup. We cut all township properties 4 times. We put a half a ton of patch out for potholes. We had to remove a tree up at West Avenue because of wind. We swept the whole town. The whole town has been swept at least twice. We've done a pretty good job. We had 3 20-yard dumpsters of debris. That's a lot of debris that we swept. Got off the street. We put up all the flags on Burlington Avenue. We started painting the curbs on the little side. That's starting to work out pretty good. We are starting to trim the trees out at Newton's Landing there, the boulevard. There's 30 trees that need to be trimmed, and we got 8 left so far. And that should help them get the paver underneath of there, and the machine that mills them up. We did all the flower beds. They all got nicely mulched up at West Avenue too. I don't know if anybody noticed that or not. We lined the ball fields 13 times. We put up 37 new street signs at River's Edge because they were starting to get faded. And we helped with the cleanup of Hawk Island, and it was a nice turnout.
Nice, yeah.
That's all.
There's a pothole as you turn into Franklin, right by Lou's Deli.
Yeah.
And I also noticed that one of the flags, the bracket is bent on, when you turn into Rancocas off of Burlington Avenue. I don't think.
the truck hit it.
Yeah, that was done before Memorial Day, actually, and I was surprised somebody didn't pick that out, but, so you may want to just remove it.
Okay.
I don't know if we have any extra brackets at this point,
Yeah, we probably do.
because we
Should
know we
have-
have to be,
should
I
have
know the
black
brackets
brackets.
have to be approved, and Debbie's working on that. I had just got some information from Riverside on that as well. Thank you, John. It was, the cleanup at Hawk Island went well with Senator Singleton, and Ryan did a nice job, doing the safety issues, and,
We had a little incident today, which is very hard out at Newton's Landing. We were, the drainage ditch that we always, when you cut it and it floods out, it picks it all up and puts it on top of the grates. The grates were actually moved off of it.
wow, from the
So we gotta
water?
go there tomorrow and get them back on. I don't know who would even do that.
I wonder if the pressure from the water could do that.
I don't think so, they're heavy.
No, they're
Yeah,
heavy.
you mean somebody had to do that? When were they cut? They were cut in the winter, weren't they?
Yeah, we just checked them and Brian said somebody moved them.
Wow.
And I'm like, so first thing in the morning, we're gonna take care of it.
Good. Anybody have any questions for John? Okay. Mrs. Russell, you're up.
things. On the agenda tonight is a resolution 2695, which rescinds 2685. That resolution allowed for a local brewery to sell limited quantities of beer in a designated beer garden at the 250th celebration concert. The brewery that Aaron Provenzano has been working with was not able to secure their state license, so in time for the governing body to review the details of the event. So that's off for now. They are interested in the Centennial Fall Festival, however, so look for more information to come on that. Also, Resolution 2692 establishes the amount of reimbursement for the concrete slabs and the pavers for the ordinance that was adopted this evening. A couple other things. The municipal offices will be closed on Friday, June 19th in honor of Juneteenth. And you may notice there's a lot of color happening around the municipal building.
Yes.
We've gone red, white, and blue.
It's nice.
Yeah, so at some point, Mrs. Seminary is probably going to make us all just wear red, white, and blue. But we've all been having a lot of fun.
Yes, it is. It's a big year.
Having a lot of fun decorating and really getting into the spirit of the 250th and our centennial.
That's great.
The nonprofit ordered 800 flags, little lawn flags, the 18 by 20s, to put in all the parks right before the 250th. We'll line the different streets with them, so it'll be really nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a shame we couldn't sell some to the public. But I guess you can just go online and buy one if you want
Yeah.
one, yeah. Yeah, it'll be nice. The decorations look great here, and it's good to see everybody's getting in the spirit.
Mayor, can I add a comment? Just
Sure.
wanted to announce something. Deb, are you
I was
done?
going to ask for Erin if she had
Yeah,
anything
go ahead.
first.
Yeah, a few things. The hometown hero banners may be purchased on the township See My Legacy webpage or in person at the municipal building. Banners are for residents past and present who have served or are currently serving in all branches of the U.S. military. Also on the See My Legacy, as we've already mentioned tonight, there are still perks for purchase. You can leave your mark in Centennial Park. Past and present loved ones, graduates, anyone you'd like to honor. And they're both, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, due on the 30th?
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
And
Kind of a
then
rolling deadline.
I also have the celebration for America's 250th with a concert at Historic Waterfront Park on Sunday, June 28th from 4 to 8 p.m. In addition to the concert, there will also be food trucks and activities. That's all I have.
Good. Carolyn?
I just wanted to let the committee and the public know that I did reach out to Senator Singleton about a donation for the fireworks, and he committed to $1,000.
Oh,
And
that's
I
great.
received that check last week, so I just wanted to publicly thank the senator and Jen for making that happen, and he's going to try to get to that event as well. So thank you, Senator Singleton, for your donation.
Yes, that's great. Okay, consent agenda items. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Ordinance 2026-9, an ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the Township of Delanco providing for and determining the rate of compensation of officers and employees. First reading by title only, and the public hearing is set for June 29th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Resolution 2026-88, award of bid and contract for Centennial Park Improvements Project. Resolution 2026-89, requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriations into 2026 municipal budget pursuant to NJSA 48:4-87, New Jersey DEP grant to conduct the Delanco Shade Tree Commission tree inventory. Resolution 2026-90, resolution approving submission of a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the year 2027 Poplar Street drainage improvements. Resolution 2026-91, Memorandum of Agreement between the Township of Delanco and CWA Local 1036. Resolution 2026-92, establishing reimbursement qualification for residential sidewalk repair with pavers pursuant to ordinance 2026-8, Chapter 240-3, Paragraph 1. Resolution 2026-93, resolution authorizing the Township of Delanco to enter into the New Jersey Cooperative Purchasing Alliance Cooperative Pricing Agreement. Resolution 2026-94, authorizing a shared service agreement between the Township of Mount Laurel and the Township of Delanco. Resolution 2026-95, rescinding Resolution 2026-85 due to insufficient time for vendor to obtain required licensing from State of New Jersey. Resolution 2026-96, a resolution urging the New Jersey State Legislature and Governor to repeal the gas tax escalator and restore accountability to fuel tax increases. Approval of minutes for March 16th regular meeting, April 6th regular meeting. Payment of bills. Payment of bills in the amount of $1,124,634.28 as per the bill list run date, June 15th, 2026. So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
So moved.
Matt? Or
Second.
Scott? Okay. Bill McFadden. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Yes.
Ms. Seuss.
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Approval of minutes for the March 2nd, 2026 regular meeting. Motion?
So moved.
Matt or Scott? I'm sorry.
Second.
Phil McFadden. Roll call?
Mr. Bartlett.
Yes.
Mr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Abstain.
Ms. Seuss.
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Approval of minutes, April 20 regular meeting. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Byrne? Carolyn? Okay. Roll call?
Quick legal question, is Carolyn able to second that one? She was.
Oh,
that's
is
what-
she abstaining on this?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
am
then
I?
we'll need a different second.
Then no.
I'll second it.
Mr. Bartlett.
I was absent as well, so abstain.
Mr. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Olet.
Yes.
Ms. Seuss.
Abstain.
Ms. Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Correspondence.
Several things. We received a letter from Revolution, New Jersey, and some pins that Mayor Fitzpatrick put in all of your bins. Revolution, New Jersey spotlights New Jersey's role in the founding of the United States with our 250th anniversary coming up. So just thanking us for participating. They sent us a poster, which we have in the lobby in the vestibule. So from time to time, they send us some things just to kind of spotlight New Jersey's role. Second piece of correspondence, Ms. Seminara forwarded to me. It was a letter, an email rather, sent by Mary Wood regarding the placement of the porta potty at the Union Avenue program. That's been forwarded to all of you. And the third piece of correspondence was a letter from residents Terry Mader and Dave Suter regarding their property on Delaware Avenue during the car show, where participants in the car show placed chairs and a pop-up tent on their property without permission. And that was also forwarded to you and to Recreation.
Thank you. The letter from Mary Wood, that's been taken care of. Mr. Bob is being removed, and we're just going to review the site to see if it can be placed somewhere else for the next two concerts, and if not, it will be placed in that same place, but it will be a brown, and it will only be there for the length of time absolutely needed. The letter from Dave and Terry, I don't know if you wanted to address that. I don't know if we need to address that because it's maybe when we have another car show, if we do, that,
Yeah, I think Harry reviewed it. I don't know if Harry wanted to speak to it all, but I
Yeah,
think it's sort
'cause-
of, we understand the situation now, and
yeah, there,
efforts can be made to ensure that doesn't happen again.
right, because I don't think Township doesn't have an easement on the waterfront property, just on the sidewalk side, and that we would just have to instruct anyone who is actually being in the car show, that they would have to be on the street. We'd have to have more room for them to sit next to their cars or what have you, not on the property, unless they actually obtain permission or we obtain permission. And we apologize for that.
I think, Harry, did you want to address exactly the scenario there? Because we did talk to you before ahead of time.
Yes, what happened, Carolyn and the rec committee asked what the right-of-way was on Delaware Avenue, and the right-of-way is 50 feet up to, well, starting from Willow, up to just the lot right before the Suitors. Then it turns to 40 feet. And I wasn't really sure that the cars were going to go up that far, to be honest.
Right,
Fabulous turnout.
yeah.
And so the information I gave was that we had a 10-foot strip on the grass that was part of the right-of-way. And looking at the survey that they supplied and the tax map as well, you're right that they own essentially from the back of the curb towards the
Right. So we'll just be aware of that and apologize for any inconvenience. I don't know if you wanted to say anything.
Just for every event, not just the car show, that's all.
At every event, right. Thank you, Terry.
Yeah, and I apologize for not realizing that situation as well.
Thank you, Harry. Okay, meeting is open to the public. This is for session 2. General questions. Howard.
Harold Klingler, 509 Buttonwood Street. The last meeting I was at, it might have been the last meeting. There was, not everybody was here, so, at that time.
That was April, I think.
Probably. I don't know for sure, but the one thing I asked about at that time was about the new Centennial Park. I kind of came late to the party, so I really had a clue what it looked like or anything like that.
We have a plan, and I thought somebody was going to send a plan to you, but we have a plan in the conference room. If you want to, I can bring the plan out and show it to you after the meeting if you want.
Right.
If you want to hang out.
But wouldn't it be like a good idea, like if we had a place, like out there? Out there might be filled up, I don't know. Or
Yeah.
even in here. I know there's a lot of empty walls in here, where some kind of plan that's going on over a number of years, that maybe it could be put up there so people could come and look at it. Because I don't think it can be put on the website, right? I don't think that website will handle it.
I don't
Sure,
know, because
we're
it's
gonna do a PDF. and
we
upload
can do
it.
a PDF. There's an 8.5 by 11 PDF document that can be put up. I thought somebody was going to actually send you a copy of that plan.
Well, somebody was, but I didn't want to, like.
Okay. So I'll, if you give me your email address, I'll send you a copy of the plan, but I'll bring the big one out if you want to take a look at it today. You tell me what you want, and we'll make sure it's taken care of.
Well, you can just email it to me.
Okay.
And I'll make sure you have my correct email.
Okay, good.
Okay?
All right.
So then, the other thing, on parks in general, I mean, we have a lot of parks in this town for a small town. We might even have the record, I don't know, in the United
It's a
States.
good thing.
So there's another property at the end of Ash Street on the creek. It used to be the old canvas factory, whatever it was, and I think the town has that property.
Yes, actually, Harry reported on that. That's the one we're working with DEP to
Right.
remediate the property and put
So-
up part of the seawall.
So is there another plan involving that property for another park, or
Yes.
what's going to go on?
That was just a conceptual plan, just as the gentleman said tonight, that you initially have a conceptual plan, and that plan may change, but we had to come up with a conceptual plan in order to apply to DEP
Right.
for the remediation grant. So we do have a conceptual plan. It's not in stone.
There's nothing like a drawing or anything like that, or what
Yeah,
it looks
there
like?
is.
It's just,
There is a conceptual plan, and I'll be happy to make sure that's sent to you too.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And the last thing was, I know we spoke about a few times about a plan possibly for street cleaning, a schedule. And you were going to talk it over with the administrator. I don't know if you got time to do that or not.
Well, she is working with John to try
We
to
are working on it.
establish that.
It's
yeah.
a little more complicated than just, we do share the street sweeper with Beverly, so there isn't anything set in stone with that schedule. What we talked about doing is seeing if we could give like a little bit of notice and shoot a blast email that it's gonna be in a certain neighborhood, because that all depends on weather. There's a lot of factors, but we are discussing ways to.
Right, I realize
send some kind of
it would be
notification.
difficult. I realize that because you're sharing the machine with another township.
Right.
But I was just wondering if something was being worked on.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you, that's all.
you're welcome. Anyone else? Ray?
You knew you weren't going to get off. Ray Weber, 22 Ships Way. One thing, John, hey, John, where was those grates you were talking about?
On the backside of the creek.
On the backside of the creek? Okay. No, because the reason why I was just asking is because I know we've had trouble with some of the kids and the police officers have come out and removed some of them because they were jumping into the retention basins. So we've had them come
Funny,
out.
there's a lady that calls every time they flood out, or prepares us that they're gonna flood out.
Yes.
And how they, could've got
I
out there.
have no clue how they moved
Without
that.
nobody saying something.
Because they are heavy, I know that. Second thing is, on the Newton's Landing paving, when that's going to occur,
I'm gonna reach out to you.
and Christine,
Okay.
okay? That's
Yeah,
all I want,
I'll see you after. I'll make sure I have all the right information.
okay, got you, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Ray. Anyone else?
Tim Kishler, 12 Harris Court. I haven't been to many meetings since the mayoral election in January, but since my return to the game coincides with the end of the school year and the planned start of road resurfacing and traditions at Newton's Landing, I thought it an appropriate time to reiterate, clarify, and add to my prior suggestions to calm traffic and improve driving safety there. My interest in pursuing this matter began with feeling personally challenged to make a safe left-hand turn onto Newton's Landing from Emery Way. It is extremely difficult to see oncoming vehicles as they emerge from around the bend in the short 1/10 mile curved road section that runs from the entrance on Newton's Landing Boulevard, and they approach this first intersection at speeds that may exceed the current 25 mile per hour limit. I have taken to driving behind my house, making left turns on Harlow Place and McKay Way before proceeding left onto Newton's Landing Boulevard, a long block further away at the intersection of McKay, where I can actually see approaching vehicles after they pass Emery Way. Though I employ this workaround for myself, I would still like to see some needed improvements made to help others and to prevent possible collisions. Additionally, one of my neighbors has made me aware of drivers failing to yield the right-of-way on at least one of the 2 traffic circles on the premises. As I mentioned previously, I suspect that the no U-turn signs that were installed to prevent turnarounds along Newton's Landing Boulevard have helped calm traffic to some extent, and that the one-way arrow signs have prevented some vehicles from driving down the wrong side of the median strip, out the entrance or in the exit. I believe that a few additional measures could better improve things. As they say it, here are the issues. There is a speed reduction of close to 50%, from 45 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour, from that of the two roads, Old Creek Road and the other Creek Road, County Road 625, that feed into the community from one or both directions with no advance warning or prior notice. Second, the single black on white speed limit sign, and there is only a single black on white speed limit sign in the whole of the Traditions community, located quite a distance from the entrance where it can be difficult to see. A full third of the way between Old Creek Road entrance and the first intersection at Emery Way, it stands low and off to the right, nestled beneath and often in the shadow of one of the trees lining Newton's Landing Boulevard. Number 3, there's also currently no speed limit sign at all on John Marr Way, which is used as a cut-through both into and out of Traditions. Number 4, the first 10th mile of Newton's Landing Boulevard is curved. While this contributes to a visual obstruction, it also creates an exception to rules regarding signage color and allows for other speed reduction techniques. Number 5, the right-of-way at the two traffic circles within the community is not established. And number 6, while there are crosswalks at every intersection where there is currently a stop sign, there are not stop signs at every intersection where there is currently a crosswalk. So I have some proposals I'd like you to consider. Number 1, that the current speed limit in Traditions be reduced from 25 miles an hour to 15 miles per hour, as it is in the point. That the single speed limit sign be moved closer to the entrance and/or an additional sign be installed on the median strip to the driver's left. Additionally, that a speed limit sign be installed on John Marr Way. Number 3, that the speed limit sign's color on the curve be changed from white to the new greenish yellow, and/or that other adjustments and additions be made as allowed to improve visibility. Number 4, that one or more of the following types of signs be added at the approach of the entrance: reduced speed ahead, no through road, or dead end. Number 5, that stop signs be added at the following crosswalk locations where they do not currently exist: at Newton's Landing Boulevard at Emery Way and Harris Court, in front of number 2 Russ Farm Way and Newton's Landing Boulevard at the center circle, at number 72 Pennington Court and Newton's Landing Boulevard at the center circle, on Ships Way at Wolverton Place between numbers 41 and 43, at Ships Way between number 61 and 63, and at number 99 Ships Way at the circle by the clubhouse. I already know that nothing can be done about the streets in our 55-plus community being used as a test course by students learning to drive unless or until they are observed breaking a traffic ordinance by a police officer. And I have been told that installing speed bumps is also something that can't be done. These things I have had to accept, but I would appreciate your seriously considering which of my above suggestions can be implemented, how and when, versus what cannot be done and why. Thank you.
So, Tim, could you forward that to us? I mean, some of the speed limits are by law, and some of the stop signs are also by law and by statute. But could we have that in writing so that we can address it?
Sure.
Okay. You can email it to Bev, our clerk, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Tim. Anyone else? Stephen.
Stephen Lord, 2800 Colgate Avenue. I just want to make a quick comment. I want to thank the committee and Mayor Fitzpatrick for passage of Resolution 2026-88 for the Centennial Park Improvements Project. I want to thank the committee for their continued support in that. It's a long time coming, and I look forward to it. And again, thank you very much for your support.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Tim? Sure. And then,
I just want to thank everyone. I see the next proposed ordinance has to do with you're getting ahead of these data centers.
yes.
I know there's nothing that we could do, either in the township or for that matter in any of our states, to prevent warehousing of immigrants, but at least maybe we can get ahead of these
Right.
data centers.
Right. Peter?
Peter Silverberg, 30 Wolverton Place. I just would like to, when there's a holiday and we have the garbage collection and trash collection delayed, we'd like a little earlier warning than, say, 5 o'clock of the night that's going to be changed. It should be easy. People have got all their garbage cans out because they don't catch it on the website early enough. And I think we know when the holidays are, so it should be workable.
Yes, I'm not sure when that email blast goes out, but I think
Typically the week before.
Yeah, it's usually the week before, Peter. So are you on our email list, Peter? Okay, all right. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to close this portion of the meeting to the public. And our discussion item tonight is a proposed ordinance. Stephen Lohr had sent me some information regarding data centers that I shared with our solicitor. And so we have come up with a proposed ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the Township of Delanco to include and designate data centers as a non-permitted use in all zones within the Township of Delanco. And I thought if everyone had a chance to review that, Doug reviewed it. I don't know, Doug, if you want to address it?
Yeah, I do want to say a couple things. First of all, I can't go to a public meeting these days without data centers coming up. It is omnipresent, and there are a number of draft ordinances floating around. We looked at everything that we could find and tried to supplement what had been provided to us to get the best draft before you for what our community needs. The one thing I want to emphasize is that if somebody came today with a proposed data center, we would take the position that it's not a permitted use in town. When our ordinances are drafted, we can't anticipate every future use. We don't know what technology may bring. And, you know, these data centers are clearly new uses with significant energy demands, utility demands, and impacts on the surrounding properties, unlike other uses that are already regulated and permitted in the zone. So I say that because in New Jersey, there's something called the time of application rule, where a developer can actually submit something and take the position that they have the ability to proceed with their application even if the municipality later amends its zoning. And I don't want the impression to be on the record that we're doing this because we don't think we're already treating these as not permitted uses. However, there's no downside to us recognizing that these new uses exist, and to be very clear that we are declaring them as a recognized but also not permitted use in any zone in the district, in any district in town. So I just want to be clear again. We're being proactive, but we are already of the position that we do not permit these in town as of today. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them. I think at the end of the day, this ordinance actually is pretty simple. It's just defining the data centers and then making them a specifically recognized non-permitted use. We do have a section of our code that lists prohibited uses, and this would be added to it.
This was actually a model ordinance that I shared from Assemblyman Singh.
Yeah, so this ordinance I've seen, the model that I saw, the Pinelands Preservation Alliance is circulating one.
That's the one I sent.
Yeah, Pemberton has basically a version of that adopted. We went beyond our area to look at other places as well, and then we added additional elements that we felt were appropriate.
So I don't think there's anything that opens us up to any kind of lawsuit in the future with adopting this, right?
No, and again, it's sort of restating or more clearly stating our current position. The only thing I will say, just so the public is aware, is what the ordinance does is recognize the use and declare it as a not a permitted use. that doesn't mean that somebody can't propose that use by way of use variance before the Joint Land Use Board. And that's just the way the law works in New Jersey. Somebody can always come in and seek a use variance from what your zoning permits. Somebody could come in and propose to put a Ferris wheel in their front yard. It's not going to get approved, but they have the legal right to file the application. So that's it's an extreme example, but, and again, you know, I think it would be a very, very heavy lift for somebody to get a data center approved in Delanco, but they have the right to apply for it. So I don't want somebody to see, you know, if somebody did apply for it, to say, oh, I thought we stopped that. We're stopping it as much as we can, but people still have rights to pursue applications.
I think there's a lot of misconception that you can actually retrofit an existing warehouse for a data center, and that is not correct. It has to be built from the ground up. So any vacant warehouse that we have cannot be converted to a data center. And honestly, we have no additional vacant land that would be available for a large data center. So I don't really think this is a huge issue for Delanco, but I think this ordinance is more of a statement than anything that shows that we are not in favor of this, along with a lot of other towns in New Jersey. And across the country,
I think
honestly.
anybody who owns a warehouse can come in, as Doug said, and apply for anything they want to change, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but they still have the right to do so. But anyway, as a matter of record, if anybody doesn't have any questions regarding this ordinance, I thought it would be a good idea to have this ordinance set out for first reading tonight and have a second reading. It would probably be ordinance 2026-10.
Yes,
Okay, and the second reading by
July 13th.
July 13th.
That gives us time to send it to Joint Land Use Board for
Right, because they would have to review it, see if it's consistent with the master plan. Okay, so at this time, I would ask,
Do you want to just read that by
you
title?
you can read it, Beth.
All right, so that would be ordinance 2610, amending and supplementing the code of the Township of Delanco to include and designate data centers as a non-permitted use in all zones within the Township of Delanco. This is first reading by title only and set public hearing for July 13th, 2026 at 7 p.m. And then we would need a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Bartlett?
I'm going to vote no, and not because I don't disagree with this, but we've had zero discussion on this. We've had zero opportunity to do any research on this. We've had zero anything until this showed up in our agenda packets this past Friday. So there's been no discussion. I'm voting no because we haven't talked about it.
We just talked about it, but
A
anyway.
5-minute conversation for a 2-page ordinance banning something is not a conversation, Kate.
Okay.
Mr. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Ms. Seuss?
Yes.
Ms. Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
I wanted to bring up another discussion item, if I may, Mayor.
Sure.
I was contacted by a resident regarding the parking restrictions on the streets leading to Delaware Avenue on that first block. There's no parking between the hours of 9 p.m. and 8 a.m. Is that correct, Chief? 9 p.m.? She had brought up that she wanted to drive from another part of town and park down in that area to kind of watch the sunrise in the morning, and that she wasn't able to even do that until 8 a.m. So our noise ordinance also permits contractors to start working at 7 a.m., and they would not be able to park in that general area to work on any homes until 8 a.m. So I'd like to propose a change to that ordinance, that it gets moved back to 6 a.m. to allow for parking earlier, specifically for residents if they'd like to visit the river area or walk along that area, and also for contractors. It wouldn't be an expense really to change the sign from 8 to 6, but I think it would make more sense for us to allow residents and contractors at 6 a.m. instead of 8.
So where are those signs actually located?
All the street.
It's all the street ends.
Between Second and
And Delaware.
Okay.
Yes.
All along the river.
All along
Yeah,
there.
there's no parking except by permit only
For the
from 9
for
p.m. to
residents,
8,
but-
for residents only.
I'd go one step further. I'd say a half hour prior to sunrise. If she wants to watch her sunrise, she's not going to be able to if we make it at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sunrise is, I woke up at 4:30 this morning and it was pretty
already
bright.
Yeah. Is
I
that,
think
is
the
that
goal-
something that
I
makes
think the
sense
goal
for
was
your
not to have
officers?
people parking out there like after midnight, 1 o'clock, when
Yeah.
Well,
the township
yeah.
committee decided on this
Yeah,
decades ago.
I feel it's too late, because
I
one of
think
the
the
other
whole thing's
problems that residents
ridiculous,
were having
honestly.
with the ordinance, the way it's written, especially even with the permit parking that was placed not last year, 24, Orchard, Vine, and Walter, is that a resident could be home or at work on Friday, and at 1:30 in the afternoon, they say, hey, let's have some family over tonight. Oh, that's right, we can't, because the township building's closed, so they can't get extra permits. So now, they're forced now to have their relatives, if they do come, park on the 200 block of Vine, which impacts the parking of those residents. So,
So
the
are you
time
saying
frame,
they can't get permits?
not when the township building's closed.
Oh, but
Because I'm saying, like,
shouldn't they have permits in
extra ones,
advance?
extra.
Extra
Oh,
for
You only
extras.
get a certain amount, so I'm saying,
Oh, okay.
for someone who lives here in town, because I've got these complaints, that they can't even be spontaneous with their own property and have family over, because if they, by chance, don't call before 12:30, they can't get extra permits. But if their family comes, like I said, they're coming, but now they're impacting parking for other residents on other blocks of the town.
So maybe we should issue more permits than we did. I don't know, how many permits did we initially issue in that?
Or adjust the time, because the issue that from 6 PM on Friday to
Right.
8 AM on Monday morning,
Right.
you can't park there without a permit. It's for the whole weekend.
No, I think, Chief, we're talking about the Second Street.
Yeah, he's talking about this in addition.
talking about-
I'm saying
He's
in
talking
addition, in
about- he's
addition.
talking
Okay.
about
All
Vine
this is,
Street
these are the
and
calls I've been
Gotcha.
getting for the last month and a half.
Yeah.
So they're all together.
I don't think what we did by, limiting parking there really did anything except push people back a block, which causes more issues for the people that are already having parking problems on that block that are wall-to-wall cars now. I don't think what we did fixed anything or
I
prevented
think what we
anything.
did fixed people who weren't residents parking
Because
there.
nobody was parking there. We went
But,
over this.
but
Nobody
that's not
parking
what
there.
was brought to our attention at the meeting, the public meeting. They said that other people were parking there.
And we-
They even
and we
gave
told you that they
examples
weren't.
of people dragging things up on Hawk Island
No.
and dressing their kids down in the street. I mean, that was the public meeting.
But that was before we actually owned the property and governed it and had signs.
But that was when
and-
we were making
Yeah.
the ordinance, we were preparing the ordinance, we set the signs, all as a result of those public meetings and what the residents were saying.
But
So-
every time we responded out there, the police, wasn't the case.
Right, so I think the ordinance prohibiting a lot of things at Hawk Island and now having the trails, I think it's really cleaned up what was happening out there. If you think we don't need permit parking there.
That's not what I said. I said, can we change the timing? Not to
I
get rid of
would-
the permit, the timing, because like I said,
Yeah, I would
that
change
timing,
the time.
the timing is an issue.
Whatever is more convenient for the residents, that's what we're trying to do here. That was the whole thing of Hawk Island, opening it up, but yet having rules in place, having the parking issues taken care of, just like with the Delaware Avenue residents, or people coming in, parking on the side streets. I mean, we're trying to make life easier for the residents, not more difficult.
But it's made it more difficult.
So then put something together that we will change that. I don't think anybody up here has any objection to that.
Because that's the issue, they are. Because like even the residents who live on Vine and Walter, they were asking, well, can we get permits? Like, no, because you don't live
Right.
on Orchard.
Yeah.
They weren't permitted. So now, again, now they're impacted because now people are parking.
Yeah, like talk to Brandy. Brandy will tell you how
Yeah.
it is on her street.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So-
So we'll review that ordinance and make some changes.
If you can, yeah.
We'll have to,
It would help.
Okay.
It would help.
So, and maybe change it from the parking on the Delaware Avenue block to Sunrise.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. That would be great.
yeah, we could do that.
So we'll work on that and maybe have something for the next meeting.
Yeah, we could have that maybe for July.
Yes.
Beth, okay.
Could we have it at the June meeting so that they could have it for the summertime?
Yeah.
They could, yeah,
we
because
can
we
put
have
that
another
together.
meeting this month, June the
Right.
29th.
Even
Yeah.
like the guys fishing, they can't
Right.
go out early in the morning to
Yeah, and
fish.
they go
have to
early
wait
morning.
till,
That's
they have
the
to wait
best
till after
time.
8 to go
Right.
fish.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the best time to fish, right?
yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And again, we want our residents to enjoy the area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
we
their
spent all this
homes.
money to make trails, to make the area nice. Let's make it more convenient.
That's fine.
Thank you, Mayor.
And just so you know, Mayor, the reason why they were calling us, because they were in fear of getting the summons for
Yeah.
parking there where they're not supposed to
Well,
park.
that's the only way we find out what's going on. So if it needs to change, we'll change it. Good. Anybody else have anything? Okay. A motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
They don't say.
Coming to rough you up, chief.